Yes, just a moment. Yes, this is. Please notify me if you can see my, link over here. Is it pasted? Did you receive the link? Yes. Okay. Right. Guys, I'm working so hard for you, all my, students, so that you not only write your exam and get good marks. Even I want you to understand literature in its true sense, right? That is why I'm working so hard and harder day by day and preparing these video lectures, trying to record them and would upload. So, my dear students, in the actually, the quotation I quoted from the one of the writings of by William Wordsworth, and wherein, like, he talks about that how and what type of poetry and what is the function of poetry actually. Okay, so the argument put forward by Wordsworth, has two important expressions. First, like language really used by men, okay, and certain coloring of imagination, right? So the men did not, in the context, common people in the village who share their intent with the neighborhood directly and through simple language, and the scope of the intent is widened, with the use of imagination. The emphasis is clearly on simplicity and genuineness here. So this was missing in the poetry of the 18th century, where with insight and criticism as well as redefining of norms were central. So Wordsworth's departure from convention indeed clarifies for us the crucial trait of romanticism, my dear students. And in one major step, Wordsworth crosses the boundaries of culture and reaches the rural setting here, right? So for romanticism, the village is the well considered preference. See that see that the note struck by Wordsworth is an act of conscious assertion, right? Sorry, and the assertion is not of the royalty or moneyed and privileged, but of the simple folk who speak a plainer and more emphatic language, right? And in the last, my dear student, part of the passage, we note the mention of the elementary feelings twice. What could be the reason for this? So the elementary signifies both fundamental and vital, something about which human will cease to be human. So poetry for the romantic viewpoint is partial to the trait of innocence. At a deeper level, this becomes a sharp critique of ostentation and prosperity, lying bare their hollowness. So as you remember, romanticism has a connect with the dominant passion that French Revolution generated. Look at it this manner. The romantic definition of poetry relates with the feeling yet to be recognized in their true potential. So the future of poetry is to rest with those who dream of an alternative paradigm of creativity, my dear students. Right. So to take the cause of poetry further, sorry, Wordsworth touched upon the idea of poetic process, the act in which the poet is aware of the job he performs. That is a beginning of a new aspect with which any future poet deals with. So, my dear student, in this regard, the famous lines I would like to mention, I would like to quote here, like, quote, I have said the poetry is a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. It takes its origin from emotion recollected in tranquility. The emotion is contemplated till by a species of reaction the tranquility gradually disappears, and an emotions kindred to that which was before the subject of contemplation is gradually produced and does itself actually exist in the mind. Unquote. Right. So this Quote is good guide to anyone aiming to be a poet. That's how you can become a poet, a good poet, established poet. For Wordsworth, the aim is to capture a feeling that poet had in the raw. Okay, so that, however, was not the time to write, but to wait for tranquil moment when he revisited the feeling to affirm its true nature. So the feeling having meanwhile attained a concrete form become, becomes here fit for capturing. And moreover, it takes the poet back to the moment when he had the feeling initially. So thus tranquility has a functional role, and the tranquility gradually disappears. So we have seen that Wordsworth, as a romantic poet, is careful about his poetic action and is driven by the cause of awakening the self and asserting it. Okay, my dear students. So here now, if there is any question, you can ask. Okay, and tomorrow also we have a class, guys, at the same time for this paper. Okay, and would like to continue my lecture and talk about modernism and poetry, like how modernism and poetry, or poetry in the modern age, is is seen through. So for the literary trend that started in the later half of the 19th century and reigned supreme in the 20th century, I use the blanket term modernism here. Firstly, the word itself is problematic, and immediately as modernism is used, the 19th century, however appealing in literature it may have produced, is pushed into the background as modern, or unmodern. This. Secondly, modernism does not indicate a direct link with the established viewpoint of modernity. Interestingly, humanism or rationality too have been kept aside the fold of modernism. So you cannot, mix the humanism and rationality with the modernism. So the word sticks to the, present, time, namely the late 19th century when social system in Europe had become shaky. The truth of that movement became the watchword of literature. So let us have a look at the reason behind this interpretation of modernism, my dear students. The 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 regimes of the period could not move forward, increase production any longer, and the glut of goods in the market caused crash in the prices and profits fell. Alternatively, if production was restricted, factories and faced closure and workers lost job, which in turn affected demands of goods in the market. It appeared that laissez-faire or like free market principle had lost relevance this new situation. I'm sorry, in the realm of writing. This meant human initiative had become weak and control on it from the invisible forces in the economic environment had grown stronger. My dear students, think of it connection with writer who felt stiffly, stifled by the society he lived in. What kind of human figures would be visualized for depiction in this writing? For him, success or failure became meaningless since writing affected loss of faith, and literary expression was removed from its central position in society, and the writer was without a point from where like to view life. So this aspect of dead end was projected as modernism. Meanwhile, clouds of world war hovered over entire Europe. It was no longer possible to be pessimist like Matthew Arnold or an optimist like Robert Browning. So both situations had a common basis in goal meant to be pursued. Right. An important departure from literary trends we talk of was that the modernism of that 20th century had no historical placing. It was an independent and autonomous entity. It seemed to have descended suddenly on the literary scene. One call it like even could call it in ideology of loneliness, alienation, and being. And apart from this, like the modern individual
Sir,
carried it on the his shoulders. Yes. Any question?
sir,
Yeah.
I was just curious that why did we term Matthew Arnold as pessimist?
Sorry. What? Can you come again?
Why did we term Matthew Arnold as a pessimist?
See, pessimist actually, in a way, because those this term does not completely it can be implemented for him, because Matthew Arnold, on the same line of T.S. Eliot or W.B. Yeats, is trying to restore the lost faith, or somehow he is also trying to repair the damage has happened due to the war situation or post-war situation. So we
Sir,
can say yes.
sir, isn't that an uh, isn't that an example of optimism itself?
Yeah, of course. Like you can say, like yeah, definitely he is very optimistic, because whereas like the people or the world over, has lost the hope of something better, or they have lost the faith in religion and in God. So and at the same time, these people emerged like Matthew Arnold, T.S. Eliot, W.B. Yeats, and they would basically repair this loss, this damage, you know caused by World War, right? Because before World War, people used to believe, or they had a firm faith in religion, and they used to think that whenever there would be any sort of problem or issue, or any sort of calamity, whether it is a natural or unnatural, God would save us. But when war happened and these deadly weapons swept away almost a big population of Europe or the world, then people lost the faith in God and in religion, because they did not, when they anticipated the you know that the God would be the savior in the difficult times, in the hardship, but God did not appear. Then they started losing faith in God and religion. But these writers of 20th century, they came into the picture with a new hope of regeneration, with the wasteland. Wasteland is a symbolic representation of the lost faith of people. But in the wasteland itself, T.S. Eliot, as an important poet of the age, is trying to repair that loss and the damage that was caused by this havoc. Okay, so through this poem and many more such writers, so definitely, like they are very optimistic, you can say. Yes, yes,
Thank you,
and
sir.
yeah. So, guys, this is very important discussion, and this age or literature is amazing. I would request you to take interest and try to, read as much as possible and try to understand. The more you read, more you understand, the better you get the marks, and you can write your exams in the coming days. So that is, my dear student, the thing here. So I would say, like indeed, the individuality of person was very, thing according to it, like there being no link with or support from society, neighborhood, relationships, as well as institutions such as the family or the workplace. The individuality floated around this helplessly. So T.S. Eliot love song of J. Alfred comes to mind. The figure of Prufrock searches for point of reference in vain. We see in the poem his psychological domain. He doubts and self-doubt. The sense of emptiness haunts him all the time. Prufrock is a product of the pre-war years when nothing seems to make sense, right? And the goal and concerns. of nationalism, human good, social equality, and justice attracted people no more. Or Eliot exhibits this way, you can say, this view in his poem quite definitively. That's the accepted idea of modernism since the Renaissance period had taken in its fold principles of rationality, humanism, and questioning of ills and evils without break that you learn from Renaissance age. That was the age of interrogation, age of questioning, age of curiosity. So the new modernism turned a blind eye to that. And in order to justify such a position, Eliot sought to separate art from life's processes and underlined a cleavage between art and social issues. He did it by while discussing the nature and relevance of art. So, students, uh, let's consider, I would like to mention some quote some lines like here, like no poet, no artist of any art as his complete meaning alone. His significance, his appreciation is a appreciation of his relation to the dead poets and artists. You cannot value him alone. You must set him for contrast and comparison among the dead. I mean this as a principle of aesthetic, not merely historical criticism. So the necessity that he shall confirm, that he shall cohere, he is not one-sided. What happens when a new work of art is created is something that happens simultaneously to all the works of art which preceded it. Unquote. My dear students, mark that Eliot mentions historical criticism only by passing and dealing with questions of art only in aesthetic manner or in aesthetic terms. For him, art is not a social product. It does not require a social base. And also, I would say the cohering and confirming of the poet are at the individual level. He shall confirm, he shall you know cohere. In addition, the work of art is also a single and autonomous entity. The work of art is on the one sided, and all the works of art which preceded it are on the other side, as if like standing at distance from each. Right. So, my dear student, I would like to just sum up what, in nutshell, what exactly we have done in this unit of this booklet. Actually, in this unit, we have gained familiarity with few basic aspects of poetry, such as its link with society and history. Even as based in feelings and emotions, poetry seeks its inspiration from its surroundings. It follows the rhythm of life around it, whether of people sitting at the top of ladder or those placed at the bottom of it. So, and all the same, the writers of the poetry project the dimension of past, the way it was shaped initially and the way it changed into the form it assumed later. We realized how poetry evolved, a specific character under pressure from outside as well as from the writer's consciousness. Right. And, like it kept pace with the, changes in its environment and contributed its only way to the process of cultural and social development. From its beginning in the period of Renaissance to its you know, weakening in the modern period as also its flowering in faraway cultures of, meaningfully or of colonies, poetry exhibited its inner dynamic. And these should help us connect meaningfully with the next, other units of this poems and this paper. Okay, so now if you have any question, you can ask. If not, then tomorrow we will continue with the lecture. And I hope that this lecture would be immensely beneficial for you all. And I'm going to upload it very soon, maybe like by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. You will have this lecture forever, uploaded on my YouTube channel. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and forward it to the friends and other people also, so that rest other people also can be benefited from this lecture. And I'm trying to, make these lectures uh, with lot of uh, hard work, my dear students. So please try to uh, spread this learning across to the people. So is there any question, students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, I have one question regarding on an upper view of this poetry paper.
Yeah.
Since we have almost like around about 30 poems, in
Mm.
fact more than that, because it is our exam is starting from 30 next month.
Okay.
So on 30 this paper is there, 30 November.
Hmm.
So around 30 plus poems are there, and there is RTC, reference to context.
Yes.
So, sir, how would we approach the reference to context? This is one question,
Mm.
and another question is that you gave a brief overview of the ages. Of course, the ages is very important.
Yes.
So, will we get a direct question of the ages as we have to explain or write about Victorian age, or these kind of ages kind of explanation questions can come in this paper?
Yeah. Maybe like, because the best practice of learning the thing is to go through the previous year exam questions. So if you just have a look uh, around the questions of previous year, definitely it will help you immensely. So at least you should look at like 2 to 3 years previous year question papers, and the question papers would give you the very insight that how the exam is going to be. Or tomorrow we can discuss couple of questions or a question
Yes,
paper,
yes, sir.
right?
Yes, I have the question paper in with me. The last paper that we had, June
Yeah.
2022.
Okay.
If we want, we can discuss it in one of the classes. It would be very helpful for us. It's like most. Can you give me your number, sir, so that I can send you the paper and we can discuss it in one of the classes if possible?
Okay. Yeah, this is 99.
Wait, sir.
Yeah, I write in the chat box. You can take it from there.
Okay, sir. Good enough.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah. Yes, please. Tell
sir,
me.
I was wondering if we could discuss the assignment question paper someday.
Yeah,
That would be
definitely. Even I'm also planning to discuss one of the papers from previous years, so that you directly can have a feel of exam, and can know like how we should go about attempting the questions and write the exams in effective manner. So definitely someday, or maybe like tomorrow, we can discuss a paper, so that you can prepare for your exams accordingly. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your effort.
Yeah.
It's really commendable enough,
Yeah.
and
No
it's very
problems,
good.
my dear students. I'm here for you. I'm here because of you. If you are there, I am always there for you, right? If you people are not there, my existence you know uh, doesn't makes any sense. So I'm completely totally dedicated to my students teaching literature. I love teaching literature, and that is why I would request you to basically try to learn the things, try to understand the things in its holistic manner. Don't do the things like just for the sake of clearing exams, or gaining marks and percentage. Try to learn the things by heart, or consciously, in its comprehensive way. Okay.
Yes, so the domain of literature is pretty much bigger than
Yes.
we actually think. It's like an ocean. We
Mm.
need to know a lot of things in order to
Definitely.
get the concept right.
Yes.
So we are thankful that you are giving us an idea of the ages right now.
Yeah.
And it's very interactable. And I will send you the paper as well so that we
Yes.
can discuss someday. One more thing I want to inform you, sir,
Yeah.
just for the information itself that next week I have one examination. Since you have told that the classes will be recorded, so Saturday I have examination. So might be I will be coming back from the exam hall. It will take me around 5 or 5:30. I have my linguistics paper, first paper.
Okay.
So that's the thing. So
Okay, no
for
problems.
Saturday I want to join it, but unfortunately I have my first exam. So I hope I will join you. Tomorrow I will join, and as well as next Sunday I will join.
Yeah, no
So I
problem.
just wanted to inform that.
Yeah. And what you can do to be on the safer side, you can subscribe my channel also, so that in
Yes,
because
sir,
in
it's
the
done.
coming days I'm going to upload uh, actually my videos on different topics of English literature. So if you subscribe, definitely you would be getting the notification, and every time you will be benefited. And my lectures are going to be very nuanced, so that you can have better understanding of the topics. Okay. You can circulate, you can intimate about this thing to among
Yes,
your
sir.
other friends also, so that
Yes, sir. The process is on, sir.
maximum.
I have copied the link
Yes,
itself so that I
yes,
can share it. Those
yes,
people who are, even if they are missing it simultaneously, there are parallelly more classes that are running, sir.
yes,
So that's why there are
because
some
it
people cannot join, but it will be very helpful for the future
yeah,
generations as well as they come up.
definitely, my dear students. And we should like continue with this kind of a journey of helping one another, and and this way we will learn a lot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I was wondering if classes on weekdays was possible, because on weekends there are so many classes lined up for everyone. So I am actually a lot of students to join, and they are already in a class and they are not able to join. Because of that, they want to join but they can't. So if we can shift these classes on weekdays, this very time will do. But the day is can that be changed, sir?
I'm really sorry. Actually, even I want, I cannot, because the timetable is prepared by the study center and the coordinators, and when they have to take the prior permission from the IGNOU, the main campus. So it is not possible for me. We have to adhere to the timetable only, and but uh, what you can do, like you can ask your doubts in the class also, or we can do some other arrangement, right, for that thing.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So next day, we I'm tomorrow, right? So can we do the poetries of the canonization and to his poem mistress?
Yes, sir. That would be good. We can discuss about some poems.
Yeah, we can take some poems, okay, and we will discuss, no issues, no problems, that we can do,
So much, sir.
because
Thank
I
you.
directly want to help you without talking about unnecessary things. And so I want to make every you know uh, video of my lecture, that should directly help the students, right? And it has to be exam oriented only, right? So don't worry, we will work out on this thing, and tomorrow we will discuss papers. And I would like to mention the history, basically all the periods, right? And
So,
a couple
so
of poems
tomorrow we
also.
will have a class on 5 or 4 o'clock
No,
itself.
yes, it is on 4 o'clock. Actually, what happened today? I
Okay,
stuck
sir.
somewhere. I had to go somewhere, and and I could not get free before the time. So that is why I had to skip the class for 1 hour, and that was the reason. But it won't happen, every day. And tomorrow we will start the class by 4 o'clock, and 4 to 6 o'clock we will have the class religiously. Right.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Take care, sir.
Okay, you too, guys, and take care. Bye. Enjoy your time.
Thank
See you tomorrow. Bye.